Hey, how you going out there? So I just thought I'd give this YouTube live streaming a go. Before anybody's in the channel, I'm just going to check and see what my feed sounds like and make sure and check the audio delay and stuff like that. It looks like it's okay so far, but we'll double check. Okay, I'm just quickly testing the audio delay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I need to add a little bit. Looks like I need to add a little bit there, so we might just quickly do that. And we'll go in here and we'll throw in a little bit of audio delay there. Add another 10 milliseconds. That should probably do it. And I'll double check and see how that's going now. Okay, yes, I know I'm not super popular right now because there's absolutely no one in the chat, and that's fine. It gives me a chance to organise this. So we're going to need to sort this out because it's the first time I've gone live on YouTube, so you're going to have to give me a bit of a break. I'm giving it a try. So I'm just working out my audio delay at the moment. I mean, I've got it set to what it was when I was doing the recordings, like just uploading content and stuff. But it seems like I'm a little bit out, so I'm just going to go check that now. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, there's not enough. Is there too much delay? It's coming in after me, so there might be too much delay. So we might drop that down to, say, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, we're just checking that delay again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before anyone's in the chat. Yeah, that's better. Now the other thing I want to check is what the audio delay on, if I put something on the desktop is like. So we're going to check that out. Because I've got live stream down here on my lappy, so I know there's no one in the chat, so I don't, whatever. But so it's good actually that there's no one in here because it's giving me a chance to test all this. Just going to double check that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just go onto YouTube. And I'm going to quickly... where are we? I'm going to have to change that. Okay, so we'll go to something. This will do.
Now, Stephen Fry.
Yes, sir. I'm going to transition.
Brings us, well, I say sequel, it's more of a continuation of your best-selling book of Greek mythology, Mythos. This is Heroes. It's out now. And, I mean, the first one was such a huge hit.
It was, wasn't it? It was a big surprise to me. I was
And I'm going to just quickly talk while that's going on.
And actually, it started, I found myself a year and a half ago. It's around a table at someone's house.
Yeah.
And we were all just talking about...
So we're going to quickly now go and pause this and test that with the delay. Okay, that looks all right. That looks pretty good. So I'll try it again. It is very loud for me in my ears, so I need to be aware of that. So this is what happens, this is what you don't see. I had this set up slightly differently when I was streaming somewhere else, but on this one I've decided to give this a go. But yeah, just with the setup, I just thought I'd quickly just check, and that is loud. So I'll just do this again. Just give me a sec.
Story of the early Greek gods, the first ones. And
So you can see me there. 1,
I know about that.
2,
Where's Zeus?
3,
Everyone's heard of
4.
certain names, but they don't necessarily know how they go together.
Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, so we can. I'm gonna have to nut that out, so I can mute this now. Righto, that's done. And so I don't know whether a lot of people do this, but I actually have the. Oops, I'll come back to the big window. So I don't know whether a lot of people do this, but I've actually got my stream down on the down on my laptop there, so I can just quickly check and see what's going on and see how it looks and stuff like that. It's probably a good thing to do actually. I find that there is a delay, so I can say something here as I'm looking at the camera, and then I can quickly look over there and see how it's looking, especially when I was just starting out then, because my audio was, I had too much audio delay in there in OBS, so yeah, so this is my first time ever streaming live on YouTube, so hello, thank you, and good morning. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So who am I? I'm no one important. I'm an old guy. Well, I'm not that old. I'm 52, so I'm old enough for most of the people on YouTube, I suppose. I'm an Australian infantryman. I was in the Australian Army for almost 20 years, and I served overseas in Somalia. And the pictures in the background might be a bit of a giveaway. Yes, I actually am a veteran, yes, and this I'm wearing my veteran's style t-shirts. I've got about 7 or 8 of them in there that I can just change to put on for different videos and stuff. But yeah, so I thought I'd make the move over to YouTube just to give it a go. It is interesting to see how it's all in one. So you've got basically shorts, which they're really trying to push these days, I see, and then you can live stream and long form content. So everything's basically in one, and I find it much easier now to. No, I don't find it much easier. I'm thinking it will be easier to sort of concentrate yourself in one space. I know that even just me, a tiny, no important 6 subscribers or however many I've got at the moment. 6 subscribers and a very tiny channel. I was doing okay over on the other sort of system, but I was doing okay, I suppose. It wasn't fantastic, but I thought I'd just give this a try, because what was happening was I was finding that you just seemed to spread yourself really thin. And you've got to think of something else for something else, and Instagram you've got to do this, and TikTok you've got to do that, and this you've got to do that, and Twitch and so on. And I actually just stumbled across sort of this on a video. It came up in one of my news feeds, and it was like, one of those classic, how to grow your YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff or whatever. And I thought, I'll jump on this and quickly watch it. And basically, it looks like everything's here. So it's it feels to me like this would probably be better. I'm not trying to tout sort of one against the other or anything, or saying if you're on that you're silly and if you're on this you're not, or that kind of stuff. I'd never do that. I guess it's just I feel like here it's all in one spot. I've got one app on my phone now that does sort of everything, if you like. I uploaded a video yesterday. Admittedly, it took me 30 hours to upload a 9-minute video. Now, when I say it took me 30 hours to upload 9 minutes, it didn't take, my internet connection's not that bad, even though I do live in Australia, which is where, probably got the worst internet in the world here. But what I mean is it took me 30 hours to create that 9 minutes. And, literally, I actually forgot to empty my recycling bin. I better do that, because there's that many, literally, if I just open my recycling bin now, there is 115 items in there, okay? And what they are all the videos that I took hang on, I'll just bring everything back up again so I can see what's going on. They're all the videos that I took while I was trying to make that. So it was like all the bloopers and edits and cuts and stuff like that. And that's the second load, second amount. The first amount was about 70. So what I'm trying to do when I'm doing the long form stuff, I'm into the camera, and I'm doing little snippets, and then I'm editing them together in DaVinci Resolve. So I don't know if that's a good way to do it, because it can look a bit choppy. But then if I'm trying to go long, you just end up with like, you say that, and then you go and then this is wrong, and then you have to come back. So I've found that it's a little bit easier to do short ones. I can just quickly think about what I want to say, get it into the camera, get it on the computer, and then go in and edit it and make it look, half decent, hopefully. Because the first video I chose to upload was about the setup that I use for streaming and recording. So, you obviously want it to look decent and sound decent. Thankfully, I think mine does. I think it's because well, I started playing the bass guitar a couple of years ago. Now I suck, and I'm absolutely rubbish at it because I've got a bad shoulder, and I haven't been able to play the guitar for ages. I can get it on there for a while and, pluck out a few notes and stuff. I know my root notes and fifths and things like that and the octave and all that. And that's about it. I've still got to go G, A, B and stuff. I still don't know where all the notes are on the neck and stuff like that. But so I started, and I always like to sing. I do have a, sort of, people tell me I've got a pretty good voice singing, and also for things like voiceover work and stuff like that. And I tried to do a little bit of that. So getting into that and getting my guitar basically led me down the road of how do I get this onto my computer? Like, I want to play my guitar, I just don't want to plug it into an amp. I want to be able to record it and play along with me singing, which I still can't do, by the way. That's not through anything, any issues with software or hardware. It's purely my brain. I can't seem to work out how to pluck strings and sing at the same time. Anyway, never mind. So yeah, that led me down the road of okay, well, so what do you need to do this? Okay, an audio interface. What's this thing? Right, it's like an external sound card. Okay, I get that. Okay, so I've got to do this, and then, okay, mic. Well, I'll use my headset mic. Well, no, I won't. It's unbelievable the quality difference when you go to something like what I'm using. You know what I mean? From say a headset mic or a webcam mic or something like that. I mean, the Blue Yetis and stuff like that, I've never really used one, so I can't comment on that. I'm assuming that they're okay because I do see some streamers using them, you know what I mean? But for me, this was the best setup for me. Basically, using a condenser mic, especially this one, this AT2020, I'm in love with it. I'm really in love with the way that it's responding to my voice, because I do have quite a deep voice. And I know the first mic I was using was those Niwa, or Newer, as the Americans call it, and NW700, and it was making me a little bit tinny. I've got some vocal samples there that I did for ads and stuff, trying to get some, just trying to get myself in the industry a little bit, I suppose. And it's really, compared to this, it's really super tinny. So, you spend a little bit more money. It doesn't have to be a huge amount, and that's why I made that video yesterday. You don't need a lot of money to stream and record. You just need something decent. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be what the top streamers use, obviously, or what you see other people use. And what I think is funny is, these guys talk about, I'm not naming names or anything like that, but, you see a lot of stuff on YouTube where, the best budget, audio interface and stuff like that. And, they're not actually really using them. Behind them is like 30 grand's worth of stuff, or on the desk is all this mixer tables and stuff like that. Julian Krause is really good. He does really good reviews. I mean, obviously he's using his high-end gear, but he also does really good reviews on the lower-end gear as well. But for me, I thought it would be interesting just to see what I use and how budget it is. Like, I've got second-hand gear. There's I'm using Behringer audio interfaces, and I haven't got a lot of money to spend on this kind of stuff. So, but I really wanted to get into it. So it's kind of sort of, where do you go? Like, how do you start? Well, you can start with like a cheap mic and a cheap interface, and away you go. But the problem is there's so much high quality content out there these days that it's very hard to sort of get in with any sort of crappiness in your stuff. People are so used to seeing, the high end guys doing their really professional layout and things like that. And as a smaller guy, it's hard to sort of, well, you're probably never ever going to compete with those kind of people. But anyway. For me, I just really like to be able to have a decent video quality and decent audio quality. It doesn't need to be over the top. I don't have a lot of overlays and stuff like that. I tend to just be, this is me, this is pretty much what you're getting. I like that. I think it's a little bit more honest than having a lot of flashy stuff going on. I've just got a little cheap ring light in front of me, and I actually face the window, so that's plenty of natural light coming in as well. But today's a bit of a grey old day up here. I live up in the Queensland mountains, about 2 hours west of Brisbane. And it's a bit of a rotten grey old day today. So I thought, I've sort of resurrected my old YouTube channel. So I thought, why not? I'll give this Go Live nonsense a bit of a go, and we'll see see how we end up. It's 10 minutes past the hour, and no, it's actually 13 minutes past the hour, and it's the 11th of October, 2022. Anyway, that was a bit of a time call there for you. Don't know why I did that, but so I've been told that I can do like voices and accents really well and stuff like that. I sort of it was very funny. I'm trying not to throw it on my toys in the first stream. I'm going to try and do this at least once a week. If it takes off, I might try and do it a couple of times a week. I've got a little bit of time on my hands because I'm actually like on a veteran's pension. I'm a disabled veteran, so you know, a few issues from when I served overseas. I served in Somalia, and yeah, so I've got a bit of time on my hands, and it's sort of like, what can you do to sort of keep... I'm into tech. I've always been into tech my whole life. You know, I had computers back in the day when they were first new. I went out and bought computers and stuff. Like I had Commodore 64s and Amigas and stuff like that when I was young. I remember having an 8-speed CD-ROM. That was like in 96. And one guy walked in my room and went, "Oh, wow, like, check this out." It was such a cool, you know, system back then. I couldn't even tell you the RAM I had. God, I can't even remember. So I've been into tech, and that got my kids into tech, and they're both in IT. You know, my oldest son's a programmer, and the youngest runs an IT department for a company north of Brisbane there. And so they're both doing well, which is good. My eldest is actually in America at the moment. He's due back at the end of the month. And yeah, so that's basically it. So I've been into tech, and so the natural progression of that, I suppose, is to not necessarily... It's very hard to keep up to date with the latest. I mean, unless you've got an unlimited budget, which a lot of us don't have, you know what I mean? It's very hard to keep up with tech. I built a computer about 5 years ago, and I literally bought one off Facebook Marketplace that was about a year old, that was way better, that way better specs than mine. And my youngest son helped me with that. I can build them. I'm just not sure of the specs of stuff. He's really good in that. He knows what's the latest and cutting edge and bloody blah, because he actually has a little side hustle where he builds computers for people. And as those of us that are into computers know, you know, it's much cheaper than, you know, walking into a store and buying a pre-built system. Build it yourself, you know, you're getting... Well, you know what you're getting, and you're also, you know, saving a heap of cash. I think people enjoy going into a shop that don't really know, because they know they can just take that thing back to that store and it's going to get, you know, fixed, or warranty issues and stuff like that. I don't know, but anyway, I'm doing really well on this connection today. Haven't dropped any frames. Yeah, so I'm using OBS. I'm probably going to do a video about this, actually, because I did a short on how I tried to set this up. Man, it was confusing, because I want to be able to also stream like me singing and playing the guitar and stuff, playing my bass, you know. And I had to set up that, working that through my DAW, through my digital audio workstation. That's what DAW means. Through my DAW into OBS, and you've got to use a different plugin. I had some of that from before when I streamed over on another platform, but just getting it working again, you know, you set it up and then you sort of forget it, you know. So yeah, it's been you know, real. I never really got it working in OBS. This is funny. It just seemed to work. I'd set it up, and it doesn't seem to be doing the right thing, but it's working. So I'm not going to touch it now. How I got to that point, I couldn't tell you. I just used different sources and inputs, and restream and stuff like that. Restream, not restream, Restream. I think it's called REA stream. You know, you've got to put that in your DAW, and then you put that in as a effects filter into OBS, and that allows you to sort of use your digital audio workstation that comes through, and you can play. Because if you don't do that, you're not getting any vocal effects or enhancement with your bass guitar, like, you know, reverb or stuff like that. So I like to add I like to add in a little bit of reverb just to give my voice a little bit of tone, you know. And there's a little bit of what's it called? I'll open it up. Hang on. Actually, I should do a video. I should do a long form content on this, because this took me a while to set up to get it working. And like, I actually have I've just got to open it. Oh, they've just literally released it. It's a new one. Update available 2022.09. Cakewalk just get better. Upgrade to the latest version now. So I have to do what it tells me. So I'm going to do that now. Ooh, got the hiccups. Pardon me. So I'm going to download that, which means it's going to close. And anyway, but another important thing before you start streaming is make sure your software is updated if you're going to be using it in that particular stream. There's a tip there for young players. Anyway, yes. So we're just plodding along here, and we're seeing how we're going. It's interesting. Just sort of, it's a completely different setup than I'm used to. Oh, I can see I've actually gone back into my browser here, and I can see that sort of may not really need to have a live feed, because if you go back into your YouTube in the live streaming part, you can see what's going on there. So basically, I've got one viewer. I have a concurrent viewer. I've got 0 chat rate, and I've been on for 19 minutes and 3 seconds. And yeah, anyway, I don't know. I don't know where I'm showing up in like the search or anything like that, and what's happening, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, we've got to install this, so we'll install that now. Yes. And, you know, once again, talking about how you don't have a lot of money for this kind of stuff. or you may not have, there's so much available that's free. It's ridiculous. I mean, OBS for a start. I mean, this is quite a powerful platform here. Things like Cakewalk by BandLab, all you've got to do is, create an account on their website and you can download it for free, and they're constantly updating it. And it's a serious program. It's not limited. It's a tiny little bit limited, but you wouldn't even notice it. I've never missed it. And I've been doing things like recordings and, all that kind of stuff. Here we go. All right, my activation's been refreshed. It does that a lot, very quickly, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly... Now, I probably should be lower down on this, maybe. I think it's because it doesn't come up in my live stream, does it? Or does it? Let's check. Whoops. Let's check that quickly. Yes, it does. Okay, right. So my watermark does come up on my live stream. I was wondering whether that comes up or not, and you can see that it does. Okay, I wasn't sure. I've just gone back into my browser there just to double check. Okay, so what we'll do is, so what I should do now, this where I am, I'd normally put this in the bottom right-hand corner here, but because I've got this bloody watermark here, I'm just going to wait and check. Okay, you can see that the watermark is what's naming. It's over the top, so I'm going to need to just quickly change this. So as I said, this is my first time trying this, so you just need to bear with me, and I do apologise. So that's going to have to go. I don't like that being all the way up there. It might have to be sort of there. And then I guess I have to match it with the other one now, don't I? But anyway, because when I do game capture, you'll see that's going to be, because I love to play WoW, and I'm playing retail WoW. I don't know why I've just stopped playing classic. That's when I play a game, and then this is obviously main, and then I can go to my desktop capture. So so I've moved myself up a little bit. So let's check and see what's going on there before we go back and see. I think I'm all right. Yeah, all right. I can actually come down a little bit, but we won't worry about doing that at the moment. So this is my digital audio workstation, like I was talking about. So at the moment you can't hear me, right? So if I go in now, I've got to go actually into. Actually, that's what I need to do. I need to go over to bass guitar. Okay. So this is going to be right. So here we go. See, this is what I need to do. So this is a problem because bass guitar doesn't have my. So what I was thinking, I can use this. I'm actually going to have to create another scene. There you go, and call it like Cakewalk or something. Or I can add just the source to this, I guess. Because if I just bring this over now, like you can see it, and then if I go in here, you're probably not going to hear it because I haven't got the effect. See, I can hear the effect in my ears. Okay, when I put this on, but I know you guys can't. Okay, because I put the loop back on, you can see me click the loop back, so I can hear it, and it goes through my, obviously through my, what's the name? For God's sake, I'll take that off because it's distracting. My digital audio, my audio interface. Anyway, numpty. So, but I'm pretty certain that you guys can't hear that. So I'll have to check that out. So how are we going to do this? This is interesting. Here we go. How are we going to do this? So I can basically, I guess I can add, so I don't want this here all the time. So I could add a separate scene, I guess, with just Cakewalk or something, and then add the door and the mic and the desktop audio and all that stuff in. We might do that actually, and that way I can show you, I can bring this across, you know what I mean? As opposed, because at the moment this is just desktop capture. So if I minimize that, you get to see that, you know what I mean? So I'm sort of thinking, wonder if I can actually create a scene with just this specifically with the audio stuff in there that I need. So we might do that. I'm just going to do that now. So because I've got two monitors. So the desktop you guys see, you don't see my main desktop because I hate that way you get all the mirror images of stuff. You know what I mean? So we might call this Cakewalk on screen maybe. Yeah, why don't we do that on screen? Let's call that scene that. Okay, Cakewalk on screen. Okay, so we've got no sources, so we need to add sources. So we're going to go desktop capture, obviously. Desktop capture. Where are we? What do I do? Display capture, sorry, that's what I'm saying. Add existing, display capture. Okay, and that's already picked that up. That's good. So we'll add all the audio input capture now. Add existing DAW, which has got the Restream plugin put in it as an effect. So that's one of the reasons you need to have that in there. We'll go mic aux just because. Right, mic, door, display capture. What else do we need there? What's in the main window? Mic, video capture device. That's, oh yes, of course. I need a video capture device. Yes, I need to add my ugly little head in there, don't I? Otherwise, what's the bloody point? So we'll chuck that on there. Video capture device, and that will be existing. So this way I can just bring my DAW across and show you when I'm like singing or, you know, playing the bass guitar or whatever. If I ever do that. But I guess, you know, just to make sure that it's working up and running on your, you know. And one thing I didn't realize was that I would have to make this other scene. So we'll throw that in there. And now I'm going to have to minimize that a little bit and then come up to about there, I'd say, which is, oh, I can make it a bit bigger, smidge bigger. Yeah, see, this is a bit of a problem. You want to know, like, you want to know how much a desktop do you need and stuff like that. So, because I'm obviously going to check this out in the feed afterwards, just to see if I got it right. Because so basically, what I've got now is, so if you look at my scenes, I've got starting soon, main window, BRB, desktop capture with video, game capture with video, bass guitar. Bass guitar is just this with the door in there. Yeah, is it? Yeah. Yeah, it's got door in there. Now, you guys might be getting double audio on that. I think I'm going to mute that. Yeah. I'll check all this later. But, all right, so this is Cakewalk on screen. Let's see how this goes. So what I'm trying to do is get my vocal effects in, right? So at the moment, now I haven't added effects to OBS. I know you can add VST effects to OBS natively, you know, inside it with their filters and things like that. But obviously I don't want echo all the time, and I don't want like reverb and stuff like that, you know, or reverb is echo, but, you know, DSs and things like that. I think you should just have a sort of a normal feed, and then you can see the difference when you change into things. So we're going to go and see how this works. So I'll hit the loop back button. So you can hear there now. I'm hoping that you can hear it. Hang on, no, I've got a mute mic. And unmute door. There we go. So you should be able to hear that now. So that's basically it with a little bit of reverb. And then the way I've got it set up, I can dial the reverb right up or down or, you know, whatever. But I like it about there just for a little bit. So we can set it to like nothing. Yeah, that should be, is that the reverb? Yeah. So we'll just double check that. Yeah, that's my, oh no, you numpty. I was using the wrong strip. Sorry about that. Here's my reverb. This is my reverb. That's my reverb. Oh yeah, baby. Or none. I actually am having trouble hearing that. So I don't know if it's working for you guys, but anyway, you can probably hear a little bit in there. If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. So there's a little bit of reverb in there. I thought I could dial that in, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, Sonotus Reverb. I need to change all these. These are a lot of old plugins and stuff. I use different plugins now, newer ones. But anyway, yeah, so that's supposed to dial in my reverb. But I can't hear that changing in my ears, so that might be a bit of a problem. So we're going to need to check with the video anyway. I'll run the video through, so we're at what are we? 30 minutes, okay. About half an hour in, I'll see how this goes. And so the idea with doing that is obviously so you can stream your guitar and things like that in, you know. I might actually just quickly see how that sounds as well. So I'll bring my guitar on. So you can see the loopback's already on my bass guitar. So I might just quickly see how that sounds. Whoops, I'm just moving the heater. It's been really cold these last few days. Having all that industrial noise in the background. Oh. So yeah, full-size bass guitar. The only problem is I'll just put the... Oh yeah, we're getting serious now when I put the arms of the chair down. Look out. So you can see on here I've got G-tune, so I use a little electronic tuner, obviously. So I don't want my squeaky chair and stuff. Super professional as always. Hear that? That's that reverb. So I'm just going to bring G-tune up and we'll just quickly tune this. So we should be getting... Okay. Now in my ears, I'm getting all of that with its effects. You know what I mean? With all the effects on here. So you can see I've got boost 11, which is just like a little boost, just boost it up a little bit. So if you look at the input and output difference, you can see there, right? It's giving it a little boost. Okay. And then Reverb 2 is reverb. What have I got this set to? 80s, 90s. Oh yeah, that's the decade. That's the decade you want. So my thing is, now I don't know. I'm getting it in my ears, but I don't know if you guys are hearing it right. I mean, I've got my feed down here, but I could look at that, but I'm not going to bother about it because this is actually getting recorded. So I'll go in and check, you know, later on to see if it worked, and then I'll jump in there and see what's going on. But you can see with my video, you can't see the guitar, right? So that's reverb. So that's like an effects panel, you know, reverb, how you want it to sound and things like that. And I really like the way this sounds. So, you know, you don't just make sure that you're in tune. Now you can see I have to cut my nails. Hear that? This is one of the things about when you play bass with your fingers. You can hear a sort of a little... That's my nails, they're too long. So I just use, because I use my 2 fingers, I don't use a pick. Mainly because I probably wouldn't know how to use a bloody pick. I'm only, once again, I'm only really a beginner. I don't practice enough to be any kind of, you know, uber bloody bass guitar player. By God, I love it. I don't know what it is. I just think, I just really love the bass. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's because my eldest son plays electric guitar and acoustic guitar. And so, oh God, listen to all that echo in there, man. That's better. Scales. C major scale, there you are. Blues, I like the blues. The blues scale's cool. Whoops. Blues scale's cool. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I haven't played this for a while, man. So this should be all hopefully dialed in. You can hear that, my fingernail hit it. I just cut them pretty short, but yeah, I haven't played for a while. I've been sort of fiddling around. I did it. Anyway, I've been fiddling around. So I don't know what the policy is with this kind of stuff. I guess, like, you know, for I can't remember what you have to do. I don't know if it's you know, it's not a parody or pastiche or anything like that, like Weird Al Yankovic would be. But like, because I'm actually playing, like, that's I don't think it's Bootsy Collins, but that's a James Brown song. So I don't know what the sort of legality. Maybe I should have checked that first. Yes. I know you can do. Man, I'm gonna have to. That's nothing exciting. That's just my chair. I guess that if I'll have to check that out because I know you can do. Like, there's so many YouTube channels on there about guys how to play this and how to play that, and they're all playing real songs. So I don't know. That's It's Born Under a Bad Sign. That's a great song, right? So because I'm into the bass, I suppose. So yeah, okay, I'll get back to that. So basically, my son has been playing the guitar for, I don't know, he's 31 now, and he's been playing the guitar since he was about, I want to say 15, 16. So he's been playing it for like 15 years. He's pretty good. And he plays acoustic and electric. And I started learning the electric guitar, but I'm a lefty. So I started learning right-handed electric guitar. I just grabbed one of his older ones, you know, and started trying to learn right-handed. And I just can't do it. So, and I thought to myself, well, it might be better if I learnt the bass. I'll learn it left-handed, so because I am a lefty. I'll learn it left-handed, and that way, if we want to, we can play together. You know what I mean? I can accompany him on the bass guitar. And we've done that a couple of times, and it's pretty cool. Like, you know, if he's having a break or something, and he's a, you know, computer programmer, so he's forever in front of his screen. But, whoop. Now I'm not getting anything. What happened there? Did I hit the volume or something? Oh, there we go. Turn down that. I don't like that. This is... It's amazing, you know, when you start getting into it and you start looking at songs and that with a real awesome bass line. Some of it's just very, very simple, very easy to do. And just in the context, in the mix, it's just insanely powerful. You know what I mean? But it's amazing that some of them are just a very basic, very easy to play bass line. But just when you mix it all together with the rest of the song, the song would be horrible without that particular bass line. You know what I mean? Anyway, well, that's yeah. You can hear how my strings vibrate too much. I still haven't got a lot of pressure down on them, and my fingering sucks. Like, I know I'm not doing it right, but anyway, so I'll just chuck this off. I'm just checking to see if, like, you can hear, you know. All the enhancements, so we'll get off that now. Anyway, no, that's not working. Be back in a second. My chair, man, I'm gonna have to bloody oil it to get some WD-40 on it or something. It's ridiculous. Squeaky, squeak, squeak. There we go. So I've got him plugged in. We'll turn him off now. Because I don't know what's going on there, but for me it sounds a bit echoey, and for you it's probably the same. Okay. because I muted the mic, you just got none of that. So you could imagine if there were people in the chat or people actually watching my stream, I had the mic muted because I had to mute it when I had the DAW up. So that's something I'm going to have to get used to again, is just making sure that mic is muted. Because the problem is it's still going, you can still see the levels, right? Yeah, it's... it was grey. I didn't realise it was grey. As is the day. As is the day. It's a very grey old day today. So yeah, basically I live in Queensland. It's a state of Australia. And it's the North State, the pointy one at the top. Pointy bit, like that. Pointy bit. Just below Papua New Guinea. And I'm about 2.5 hours west of the capital. So I actually live in the country. And the way the state's set up inland from the east coast, there's a massive mountain range that basically runs the length of the country there, just slightly inland from the coast, and I'm up in those mountains. So I actually live in the Queensland mountains. So everybody else is hot and I'm fucking freezing. It's like 12 degrees today up here. Feels like 12. It's actually really, really cold. In fact, I'm going to put the heater on. So yeah, if you're out there, please do feel free to jump in. As I said, I'll try and get my chatters to tell me what to talk about, and I can't do that without anybody in there. Not that there's anybody watching anyway, but, you know, we just thought we'd see what's going on. So I'm guessing that I can't title this anything, so it just says Somalia Veteran Live Stream, so, and that is the title of my channel, so I know I can't change that. Or can I change that? Edit. Okay, edit. Oh, here we go. You can put a description in there. Okay. Hi all. First go at streaming on YouTube. Hi all. First go streaming on YouTube. Please feel free to jump in and laugh at the old guy. L-A-U-G-H at the old guy at the old guy as he tries to as he tries T-R-I-E-S, tries to get this stuff to work. LOL at the end. LOL, obviously LOL. Visibility public. Hi all, first go at streaming on YouTube. Please feel free to jump in and laugh at the old guy as he tries to get this stuff to work. LOL. Okay, so we'll save that. People and blogs. Select or upload a picture that represents your stream. A good thumbnail stands out and draws viewers' attention. Right, so I didn't know you could... Okay. So I've got thumbnails that I use. I use Canva, right? Because it's free. I use Canva. I've got a little thumbnail there. You can see that in my long-form stuff, the one that I uploaded the other day. So I've actually got... I've trying to stay on brand, you know, as the proper guys do. So sort of what I've had to do, my icon up in my stream actually, sorry, my channel icon used to be my regimental badge, which is just there. You can just see it on that plaque there. Maybe you probably can't, but it was my regimental badge. And, you know, one of the things I've been using that for this channel for years, 6 years, because I used to have bushwalking videos on here. And, one of the things that I realized is the problem with that is, especially if I start doing this kind of stuff, is that is actually a protected image. It's a protected image by the army. Like the army has a brand manager, because a lot of people misuse military insignia and stuff like that. And so I thought I'd better create my own one. So the one you can see now is sort of a representation of my representation of our badge. It's cross rifles, a crown, a kangaroo, and then a 1 next to it. And the 1 is for the 1st Battalion, which is where I spent most of my time. Not all my career, but most of my career, nearly half of my career was spent in 1 battalion. So I've got a bit of thumbnail thing going on here, so oh, no, I won't. I can always show you later, but so I might just say upload this, and that way you sort of, I'm trying to keep, like they say, keep it consistent, same thing, my brand, not that I have a brand or give a shit about any of that kind of stuff, but I'll just call it my first live stream on YouTube. My first live stream, and then I'll just exclamation marks. Okay. And we'll fix up that little bit there. I'm just editing a little bit. My first live stream. That'll do, and we'll download that, and I'll throw it into the thumbnail, which I didn't know you can do. I guess because this becomes a video afterwards. PNG, no JPEG, thank you. Yes, thank you, JPEG. My first live stream. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a folder for these, but I'll just leave them in the downloads for now. So if we go back to here, oh no, if we go back to my desktop, whoops, no, I just minimized OBS. I need that one up. See, old guy stuff. Doesn't know what's going on with all this newfangled stuff, don't I? That should be the right one. Yep, my first live stream. Okay, so I'll actually change that from YouTube thumbnail to first live stream. That's probably an important thing. Otherwise, you just end up with, YouTube thumbnail 1 in brackets, 2 in brackets. So you need to know what they are. So first live stream.jpg, and we'll hit enter on that. And then we'll use that as the icon. So we'll go back into the live streaming YouTube thing, and I'm going to upload the thumbnail now. And we'll go to downloads, and there, and we'll see what that looks like. That looks cool. So I guess because afterwards, okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, so I can do all that. So I've got the title, so you can edit that. Right, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. So I'll know that for next time, so I can change it to just, because otherwise it's always going to be called Somalia Veteran Livestream, you know what I mean? Description's cool. Hi all, first go at streaming on YouTube. Please feel free to jump in and laugh at the old guy. Jump in. I forgot to put the in, and you should never forget to put the in. Or it in it. Anyway, whatever. Something like that. Hi all, comma. Punctuation, Jason. JR. That's what I'm going to call myself, JR. Punctuation JR. Who's going to shoot me? I don't know. Find out next season on Dallas. I think that's the theme song. Or was that Chips? No, it's not Chips. I think that's Dallas, isn't it? I can't remember. I get all these 80s. I've been watching 80s shows recently. We're watching like themes. For some reason, I'll get caught up watching old ads, like from the 70s and 80s, and I don't know why. And then I'll start watching like intros for all the 80s shows that I used to watch when I was a kid, like Hawaii 5-0. See, so cool. Some of the songs are actually really cool. But yes, I am an old person, so that is probably why I find them cool. Not lame. Hoyle, comma. First got streaming on YouTube, comma. Please feel free to jump in and laugh at the old guy as he tries to get this stuff to work, lol. Righto. We'll save that, and that'll do us. All right. Not that it's helping me at all, because I still only have one viewer, which is me over there on my laptop. Anyway, never mind. Keep going, as they say. Keep soldiering on. Soldier on. I was about to do an ad for a cough medicine then that we used to have in Australia back in the 80s, which we don't have anymore. Codral, cold and flu. Do they still have Codral? They probably do. Okay, completed. Right, thanks. So yeah, so Canva's really good actually. I've created a heap of stuff on Canva, including the channel icon for this, and my brand, and that is actually the color of my battalion. That's basically the official sort of color of my unit, Garda blue, which I don't have the lanyard for that anymore. I've only got my old 6RA lanyard. But anyway, where are we? We'll close that one. And we're coming up to almost an hour. We're coming up to 60 minutes now. Well, actually, we're not. We're coming to more like 50 minutes now. But so, average view duration. That's funny. Average view duration is 48 minutes and 53 seconds. That's because it's me over there on the laptop watching it. They've been with me the whole time. They're so loyal. They've been with me the whole time. They're very loyal. They bloody well want to be. Otherwise, that'll be trouble. So, because I don't really know how the chat works. Manage moderators. We don't have any moderators. Participants. Okay, right, you can click on that. Okay, that's good. Toggle timestamps. Toggle timestamps? No, we don't need timestamps, do we? Why would we do that? Okay, so manage moderators. Oops, hang on. This brings up a whole other thing. Settings, all right. Oops. Add moderators. Okay. Automated filters. Okay. Oh, okay, and then the chat. Okay, I have to add their URL. So I just quickly clicked on that add moderators thing. Or whatever it was, manage moderators, and it's got automated filters, and then it's got moderators, add moderator. Paste the channel URL of a user to add as a moderator. Approved users, hidden users, live redirects, Channels that I subscribe to can redirect my content. Add a user for live redirects. Okay, cool. Okay. And it actually brings you up in your create channel dashboard, but it's white. It's not the dark theme. And these days, everything's dark theme, I think. I think it's just easier on your eyes, definitely. Because you spend, you know, if you're like me, you spend so much time in front of a bloody computer screen. I mean, that's all I do. You know, it's all I do because I've got nothing else to do. So we might as well, which once again is what led me into this. Like I play WoW. You know, I even read books online. You know, I've got a Kindle, so, you know, I love reading books. So I've got a heap of bloody books that I've got on my Kindle. I'm reading David Eddings at the moment. But read Porn and Prophecy. I'm now onto the Malorian. Read the Belgariad. Now I'm reading the Malorian. I'm only on the second last book of it. And then after that, I'll read, you know, the Diamond Throne and then the Elenium. Or the Elenium and then the Tumuli or whatever it is. Tabuli. Yeah, because I'm weird. I love rereading stuff. I mean, I don't reread it straight away, mind you. I'll come back to stuff like I probably last read this like 5 years ago. One of the things I love about Kindle, I'm on Kindle Unlimited, and literally, yeah, you can get like one of my problems is I read a lot, and I read very fast, and I can read big books and things like that, or really seriously large books, and it doesn't take me very long. So the Kindle Unlimited is great, man, because you've got all these fantasy books that you can read, you know, and they're generally like coming in groups, and they cost you nothing. Oh, they don't cost you nothing. You have to subscribe, obviously, but yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. It's very good. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. We're not having anybody out there, so it's just watch as slowly as this old man goes crazy. Picture a man going on a journey beyond sight. He's entered the Twilight Zone. Anyway, yeah, so I use OBS to stream, obviously. I've been using that for a while now. It's my first time using it on YouTube, and I'm actually finding it pretty good. I like the way the chat, so I've got my chat doc popped out, and it's in there on my OBS screen. I can see it, obviously. I mean, if I bring this up on the desktop, it just goes, and I hate that look. You know, with all the multiverse of madness behind it. I hate that. So I don't ever bring that up, or try not to, unless if I can avoid it. I try not to bring it up on my screen. That's why I have a second monitor, and that's my desktop that I use if I'm going to bring it up. If I'm going to like bring up the desktop, like, you know, do that. That's a second monitor, so you're not going to see, you know, you're not going to see the multiverse of madness behind me. Just going to check and see. Yeah, I am a bit high there. I might actually bring that down. Just going to bring that down just a smidge. This is good when there's no one in here. You can sort all this stuff out and see how it looks and that. So I'm just waiting for it to catch up. Because you can see my icon there, and I'm going to leave that there, which gives... Oh, that's right. I'm right on top of it. Okay, that looks good. That was better. So that should change in a second, hopefully. Is it? I don't know. Oh, no, I can see. Okay, on this one. Yeah, right. What about if I bring it up full screen? Are we still going to see chat? No. So I can come down a little bit further. On the actual studio page, the icon looks much bigger than it does in real life. Okay, so I can actually come down much further. So we'll do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to bring this down a bit, and then I'll transition back into it quickly. Just waiting for my live feed to catch up on my laptop there. I'm on the lappy, as we say here in Australia. I'm my lappy out. All right, so we'll see how that looks. Because I still want you to be able to see my little icon, because it is mine. I did create it myself. No help. No help. Now I can even come down a bit further again. So let's try that there. Let's try that. We'll see what that looks like. Or is it going to matter? Is that icon just going to pop up anyway? But I don't want it to be... Yeah, it is going to pop up. Okay, so I need to come up a little bit. Come up a little bit more. About there. Let's see what that looks like. And once again, there's no one here. So this is great for doing stuff like this. You need to sort this out. And so, okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now I just need to make sure that my game capture is roughly the same. So I'll bring that down to about the same amount. Now my game capture is deliberately smaller so that you can see more of the game when I'm playing it. I'll give that a try there now, and we'll just see how that looks. So this is going to be fun for people watching if they come back and watch this video, which I don't know why they would, because no one's seeing it at the moment. Okay, it's got to come up just a smidge. And so once that's all done, you know, once you've all done that, then that's it. You just don't touch anything and make sure it works, and that looks good. And that one looks good. Okay, there we go. And now I'm happy with that. Yeah, definitely. When you look at it on, so you need to be aware of that. When you look at it on your live feed up on your studio, it's definitely too big. It's definitely too big. Yeah. Or is it going to be different for everybody? Is it going to be different for everybody? I wonder if that's the case. I need to check that now. Actually, I'll check that now. So I'll transition back into that desktop capture again. And I'll just bring it up on my studio feed. For some reason, the studio feed looks like it's bigger. I think that's just because it's minimized. We're just going to check that. Oh, no, that's cool. That looks fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Wow, okay. This is interesting. On my laptop display, I'm sitting just on top of my channel icon. And on my main display, which is 27-inch, wouldn't we all like a 27-inch monitor? It's a little bit higher, so I might just leave it at that. Just say leave it at that. Yeah. And how else is that going to work? I don't know. So we'll go back to the main window. Okay, there we are. Coming up to my first hour live on YouTube. One minute to go. Actually, coming up to like 30 seconds to go, to be honest. And no drop frames. That's interesting. That's really good. I guess it's because there's no one in here watching except for me over there on my laptop. So you have one viewer, and they're very loyal, this one viewer. They've been with me since the start. Wonderful people. Wonderful. Wannabe, bloody hell. Concurrent viewers 1. Now, this is obviously how all this stuff starts. You can't expect to be, have 1 million viewers and thousands of subscribers and stuff like that. But you just got to keep plodding along. A lot of the, I am falling into that trap where I'm starting to watch videos where they say how to grow your YouTube channel and say get 100,000 subscribers guaranteed by the end of next week, and that kind of stuff. And I'm taking a lot of that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I want to be this guy that you see. I don't want to be, which is me. I don't want to have a personality on here and a personality in real life. You know what I mean? I'd like to just, obviously I'm going to moderate it slightly, but I just like you guys to just see me and how I am with my attitudes, which are what they are. I don't have many prejudices or any. In fact, I don't think I've got any prejudices, to be honest. I'm pretty much, I like everybody equally. I'm not a racist. I hate everybody equally. I like everybody equally. I just, I'm into the old. It's funny, being an ex-grunt. You'd think I'd be the opposite, but I'm actually much more into, tolerance and understanding these days. As I get a bit older, I think because I guess I've seen what intolerance can lead to in the extreme. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go into too much detail, but. Intolerance and religious persecution and things like that. I've kind of sort of seen that at the very extreme end of that. And I'm not in, I was an infantryman. I was trained to kill, all that sort of stuff. But I can't stand to see anything in pain anymore and stuff like that. I don't hunt or anything like that. And I don't know why that is, but now I find, especially as I'm getting a little bit older, I find that why can't we all just get along? That kind of thing. Just enjoy yourself, and who cares? It's a very Aussie thing that we are pretty chill. Come on over and just relax, sort of thing. Do what you want. We don't really mind. Just take it easy. That's the what I guess. See, people. It's funny. I think I'm not sure, but I think there are certain people out there that think Aussies are really racist, and I think it's not. Look, I'm not saying there's not. We sure got our fair share of bogans, which are the equivalent of rednecks. You know what I mean? Who can't stand certain colours or orientations or religious types or anything like that, and very small-minded people. But I think we don't look for racism in everything. I guess I don't know. This is hard to explain. A classic is an old KFC commercial when the West Indies were out here playing Australian cricket, and an old KFC commercial, and the commercial is this white guy, right? And he starts off tight frame. He's got a KFC in his lap, right? And he says, stuck in an awkward situation. And the camera zooms out. And he's surrounded by West Indian. So he's an Aussie supporter. And he's surrounded by West Indian supporters. Now, KFC is a sponsor of the cricket, right? And he's surrounded by black West Indian supporters, right? West Indians. And, stuck in an awkward situation, and then he starts handing around the chicken, you know what I mean? Now, to an American, that seems extremely, way over the top and racist. We don't know that fried chicken thing here. We don't know that that's considered racist against African Americans. And you may interpret that as the awkward situation is the white guy surrounded by West Indians. But when we see it, we see an Australian supporter surrounded by Australian cricket team supporter surrounded by West Indian cricket team supporters. We don't really see that colour, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. And I guess it's more so with me being ex-military as well. I worked with, every shade under the sun, you know what I mean, pretty much. Aboriginals, Fijians, Tongans, Samoans, a couple of my best mates that I served with, full-blood Aboriginals. Here's a funny story. This is actually really funny. I'm in Hawaii. We're in the 90s, mid-90s, just after we got back from Somalia, a couple of years after we got back from Somalia, and we're over in Hawaii. Schofield Barracks, 95. And we're in F Quad, I think we're in 5th Battalion, right of the line. And we were one of their companies came over to Australia, and we went over to Hawaii. And we're going to the NCO club, because I was only a Lance Corporal. Lance Corporal or Corporal? No, I was a Corporal at the time. I was a Corporal, Section Commander. And, we were going to the NCO club. We thought this was pretty fancy. We've got our own club, because normally in the Australian military, we're basically similar to the British. You don't have your own messing facilities until you become a sergeant, right? Corporal and below all eat and drink in the same area. We look, NCO club, this is pretty fancy. And me and another fellow, now there were 3 section commanders in Delta Company, 3 corporals, right? There's 9 corporals all up in Delta Company, but in my platoon there were three of us. One was an Aboriginal, and then there were 2, me and another white fellow. Jim, the Aboriginal fellow, I won't use his real name, but Jimmy, the Aboriginal fellow, wasn't there. And me and I can't remember. I think it was me and the other guy. It was years ago, and we thought, let's go to the NCO club, and we didn't know that they sort of have unofficial nights for certain, like it's the night the African Americans go in, and there might be some Hispanics in there and stuff like that. This next night. And so off we toddle to the NCO club, walk in, open the door, and there's not a white person in the place, right? and there's a couple of our Aboriginal mates up at the bar, right at the other end of the room. I don't know if you know, but this is like the NCO club up near F Quad and Schofield Barracks. So you go through the door, and then that bar's right at the end. And they're all like typical walked into. They're all domino, and there's rap music. They're playing dominoes and slapping them down, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And we sort of walk in, and it was a bit like Deliverance, sort of, the needle comes off the record, and like that. And this big, dark fella comes towards us, big African-American fella comes towards us. He goes, what are you all doing in here? And we're like, oh, we just want to have a drink with our mate up there. He goes, oh, you're Aussies. Oh, you're Aussies. Oh, come on in. And man, we're dancing with their women and playing domino, and it was really cool. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. It was really cool. It was like, once they realised we were just Aussies, it was like everything was cool. And that's kind of sort of, how it is over here. It's pretty chill. But, okay. So, wow, that just was really going down memory lane for that one. Bloody hell. Yeah, that was an interesting exercise. We were over there for like 6 weeks. We were supposed to go over to their desert training facility on the mainland and all that sort of stuff as well, but they canned that at the end. They wanted us back. I can't remember why we had to come back. We didn't do anything too bad. We got drunk and got a bit, obnoxious like we always do, like most infantry guys do, most grunts do. Drank too much. Trash one guy's room one night. He loved it. The weird you guys only get a 12-pack because we get 24 in a carton. What you guys call it? Case of beer? Yeah, case I think you guys call it. We call it a carton. And a box of wine we call a cask. It makes it sound a bit nicer, I guess. I don't know. Still junk. Still like wine off the floor. You know what I mean? In a big inflatable bladder. Goon. Goons are very it's cask wine we call it. But yeah, the younger kids call it goon. Anyway, and our viewership has not improved from that. So we still have one viewer, and he's over there, and he's very loyal. He's a very loyal guy. Not a bad looking rooster, apparently. So they say. It's me on my laptop over there. That's the one viewer. Yeah, so anyway, we're kicking along. So everything seems to be working pretty well. I'm happy with the way that it seems to be set up. The YouTube thing's pretty interesting. As I said, definitely going to have to oil my chair. That's nothing exciting. It's just my chair. Yeah. So, okay, that's all working pretty good. The stream starting soon worked. I might just quickly flick it over to Be Right Back and just check that. Yeah, and we're back again. Okay, yeah. So that looks. Yeah, okay, that looks like it's working. With the sound, whisper the sounds of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone. Yeah, I better not, because I don't know. See, I thought there was slightly more, permissive of this sort of stuff on YouTube, but I don't know. I probably should suss that out. Or are all those cover state channels and how you play this song on the bass guitar, are they all illegal, or can you do it for whatever? Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out, because I know where I was before, that was really big. You know what I mean? That was really big time. Anything will get you taken down, sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, as I said, one of the most important things when you're starting out with this kind of stuff is to just keep going, especially when there's no one in the channel. It just gives you the idea that, it helps you talk. It helps your flow. I don't really flow too well because I like to be informed by the chat. So that does make it hard when there isn't anybody in chat. Trying to just sort of keep it going and keep thinking of something to keep it flowing. That's why I like having a few people in chat. It just gives me the chance to sort of, okay, let's, it gives you something like, all right, let's run with that, and we'll just sort of head off down that track. And then we'll go around here, we go around the corner and see where we end up. I really love that. And so I've had some really good streams doing that. Not here on another particular platform, but as this is my first one on here. So, but like I said earlier, I think this is probably going to be, it's going to turn into probably the big thing. I think I am definitely enjoying I can do almost of all of it. Well, I can do it all on one platform, really, when you think about it. Excuse me. Except for like photos, which is Instagram, I suppose, which I don't really take that many photos. I'm more about video and editing and audio recording and stuff like that. But anyway. That's my wife. She's making lunch. I'm not sure what we're doing for lunch. I think she's making hamburgers. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Or pet booty, because she's Maltese. Pet booty, which is like rissoles. I don't know what you'd call that in America. What would they call rissoles in America? Hamburger patties, but rissoles. Meatballs? It's like in between a meatball and a hamburger patty, except it's round. It's big. Meatballs you'd probably call them. We call them rissoles. Why do we call them rissoles? I haven't got a bloody clue. I haven't got a clue. An hour and 8 minutes and 21 seconds. Interesting. That's actually an hour and 11 minutes. So, okay, that looks like average viewer duration. This must take a little while to stream settings. Here we go. Enable DBR. Okay, that's my stream key. Okay, that's all working. That's the analytics. Stream health. Stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. Okay, that's pretty good. That's nice to know, and the reason it's healthy is because there's no one in the bloody stream. I don't even have anybody in the stream here. There's no one here. Aye. Yeah. I love that bit in Dr. Evil's talking to, what's her name? Not Una Brow, that's her lesbian lover. Frau. What's her name? I'm going to have to look that up. Frau, what's her name on Frau? Because I know Frau Blucher from Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein. Every time they say Frau Blucher, you hear the horses. Frau Farbissina or something like that. There she is. Farbissina. That's her. Frau Farbissina. It's Dr. Evil and Frau. Yeah. All right, zip it. She's actually got her own Wikipedia page. Frau Bissiner is a fictional character played by Mindy Sterling in the Austin Powers film series. Frau Bissiner is a German attack and defense specialist and the founder of the militant wing of the Salvation Army. She is also Dr. Evil's henchwoman and tries to help in his schemes to terrorize and take over the world. We do what we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. I used to like that cartoon. She has a heavy German accent and is well known for a running gag in which she shouts her orders needlessly loud and screeching, often startling Dr. Evil. For her performance, Sterling was nominated for Favourite Supporting Actress in a Comedy at the BMI Film and TV Awards. Oh yeah, parodies of very proud. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm just reading the Wikipedia article. Don't mind me. Just talk amongst yourselves. That's funny. I was just actually reading it. Just sitting there reading the Wikipedia article. That's yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That works well. Great for streaming, when I'm just sitting there reading the Wikipedia page. Not that there's anyone here to watch, but yeah. From little things, big things grow. So, we never know where we're going to end up. I did pretty well over on the other platform, but as I said, I've moved here now. So, yeah, this seems easier. Just seems easier. Everything in one place, shorts, live stream, and long form. So, yeah, but I'm not going to cheat. I could bring in a lot of my other videos that I made on, other channels and stuff that I've already got all the videos for and stuff. I could maybe do that with one or two that pertain to sort of where I want this channel to go, but, nah. So I might do an hour and a half. That's decent. I was going to do 2 hours, but we're coming up to an hour and 14 minutes and 50 seconds. It's 11:12 a.m., 11th of October, 2022, and traffic on the M1 this morning is, yeah, anyway. What's that movie where they have the live traffic station? Has it got John Cusack in it? It's 24 hours traffic. 24-hour traffic. I can't remember if it's John Cusack or not. It's a particular movie. Where's Tony DiNozzo when you need him? I've been watching a lot of NCIS lately. And that and Spooks, man, because I've got BritBox. We've got this streaming service here called BritBox. And it's basically a compilation of, it's a collaboration between BBC and ITV. I think it's ITV. And man, all the awesome, every Doctor Who's on there. Right up into the modern, all the old stuff, all the old Doctor Who's are on there. I've been watching them a bit, and then found Spooks, and I missed Spooks when it was on because I was in the army and really busy. I never really got much time to watch. You'd sort of come home, have dinner, maybe watch a quick hour of TV, and go to bed because you're getting up sparrow fart the next day, PT and all that sort of stuff. And then on the weekends, you tend to you'd want to go out drinking and just get out of the house on the weekends because you're sort of like. You're so busy during the week and you devote so much time and energy towards your service, you know what I mean? You get home and you just bucket. And then on the weekends, it was really the only time that you had, not to yourself, because I was a family man for most of my career. And but when I was single, good God, it was just, you'd start drinking Wednesday and finish Sunday, you know what I mean? Crazy stuff. And still do PT and be coherent during the day. God, if I tried to do that now, I don't know what would happen. But, yeah, so, anyway, this is my first stream. I shouldn't yawn. Coming up to an hour and 17 minutes now, so, yeah, I'll probably just do an hour and a half. I just wanted to double check and make sure that sort of everything was working and, all the new, because I basically changed, I made, scene collections. I've got one for something else and one for this and one for that. One for making YouTube videos, one for doing YouTube streams. One of the things I do like about OBS now is they've actually got this virtual camera thing, which actually makes your good camera, work as a webcam. I could never get this to work as a web camera before without any. I tried everything and I couldn't get it. I got a capture card and all that, and I could never get it to work properly as a web camera. And as soon as they came out with this Start virtual camera, it was works perfectly every time, which is good, which is really good. In fact, I'm just checking the settings on it now. Program output default. That'll do. I don't know what half this stuff means. I mean, there's a heap of videos out there about OBS that would, I should watch. But all the ones that I've watched, and for some reason, some of the stuff doesn't work with mine. I don't know why. And I know it's the latest version of it. And it looks a bit nicer now down here. All the text and everything looks a bit nicer. But other than that, I don't know. So yes, here we are. So 10 minutes ago, we'll say, and we'll give it the bum. So concurrent viewers 1, chat rate 0, viewers 1. Great, thanks very much. Well, he's hung around at least, nice and loyal, which is always good. I'm just checking my chat graph here, and I can see 1 of 1. And the 1 of 1, as I've said it many times, is my feed over there on the laptop. Anyway, from little things, big things grow. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Maybe I should just make it an hour 20. What's 10 minutes difference? There's no one in here. Yeah, I might make it an hour 20. You rang. Anyway, yes, that's my chair. I'm definitely going to have to spray a bit of stuff on that to stop it squeaking. But yeah, so anyway, thanks very much for not watching me and not chatting. Anyway, yeah, we'll do an hour 20. We've got a minute to go. Yeah, we'll do an hour 20. I'm not just going to sit here like some kind of idiot. Yeah, because you can only talk to yourself for so much, you know, and it's hard to keep the sort of theme going when there's no one in the chat. So anyway, we'll see what happens, and I'm definitely going to do this again. I'm going to try and at least get on once or twice, live stream once or twice a week, and at least 1 or 2 long form, and then hopefully a short a day or a couple of shorts a day. I'm just sort of slowly getting back into it. You know, I've been very ill for a long time, and just to slowly getting back into it. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate all the views and, you know, likes and comments that I get. I really do, because I'm only very tiny. So all of that means a lot, because it does take a long time to sort of get yourself in. Yesterday I uploaded a video about my audio and video streaming setup, and that video, to make 9 minutes, took me about 24 to 30 hours of content editing and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that does mean a lot when you like and comment and things like that. Even if it's criticism, you know, it lets you know sort of how you're going to go from there. So I'll have to find out how these things get discovered. So it might get discovered actually when it becomes a video. So I guess it just becomes a video on my channel. We'll find out when I stop, but which I'm about to do. And you can just go look at it later. So if you are looking at this later and you weren't here for the live stream, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. If you enjoyed it, if you enjoy my content, I'm going to try and do, like, you know, a bit of this, a bit of that, veterans issues, physical and mental health, but more so just like I'm trying to get into more sort of my setup and things like that. Like, I've built a custom desk and how I set up OBS, especially as an older guy, trying to nut all this stuff out. You know, it does take time. And of course, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube that help, you know, very much so. I think that's what everybody does these days. They don't bother reading the manual. They just go straight to YouTube and type in the search bar, you know, how to program a VCR or something like that. Not that they exist anymore, but anyway. All right, so we'll end it there. Look, thank you very much. If you're watching this after the stream, thank you very much. I hope, I hope you enjoy it, and that you please like and subscribe. And wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, morning, night, afternoon. And remember, as always, duty first.